All right, everybody. It says that I am live. So we're going to go ahead and welcome everybody to this live stream. This is all new. This is all fun technology that we haven't had before. So hopefully everything talks to itself. Not only are we streaming through Zoom, but I also am screen sharing. Now, let me do some introductions and then we'll talk about what is going to be going on today. Hopefully all the techie stuff works. If not, I will catch the replay and I will learn from it. So we've been doing live videos on YouTube for the past year as a way to update all of my families on what's going on in the studio. So it's just new bells and whistles that all it is. All right. My name is Allison Johnson and I am the owner of Orange Easel School of Art. And everybody, welcome to the studio. It's kind of like, see, welcome to the studio. It's backwards for me too. So I have to think like a weather person and point backwards. And Orange Easel is a children's art studio based in the Kansas City metro. We have two locations, one here in Liberty that's been in business since 2014, and then we opened in Platte Woods in 2018. So we just do kids art here in the studio, and then we do adult classes through our membership, which we'll talk about here in just a little bit. But we believe that the world needs more artists. And so it is our mission to grow artists and to support them, support artsy kids and their families through different programs that we do here. During the school year, we do that through our weekly classes. And then during the summer, we do that through our camps. And then all year long, we support our artsy families through our membership of on-demand and live classes. So this is our weekly video where we're going to talk about what's going on in the studio this week, what's coming up in the studio this week, any major announcements that you need to know. And then because it's summer and there's not quite as much fun stuff for me to talk about, because there's really just two camps. So I brought some supplies. I thought I would demo one of our camp projects and show you how you can do it at home. So if you've got kids at home and you're looking for creative activities for them, I have taken one of our projects and made it very accessible for you guys to do at home as well. So if you are catching this live, feel free to say hi. I do not know if I will be able to see comments. I have no idea where that would be. On Facebook, I know it's like somewhere, I don't even know. So I apologize. I'll have to find that out. Because I feel like that's important if we're going to engage. I guess I could bring up maybe, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Is there comments? I can edit the video. I had links to share too. Hey, wait, hang on. This is fun. We're going to figure this out together. Enable stream health, analytics, edit. Watch me break this and have it no longer work because I'm editing. I should not touch things. All right. Well, I'm going to be talking about some different things and I've got links to put in the description after the video ends. So I wish I could put it in there in real time like I can in Facebook, but I don't see it anywhere in YouTube. Well, I'll figure it out. Whatever. Let's talk through our what's going on in the studio. Should we start there? So this week in the studio, we have been busy with camps. We've been busy with a couple community partnerships, and I'm going to talk about those because we've got some really great local partnerships going on, and I want to make sure that I recognize those people. And then we're also still teaching to our membership. So the Creation Nation membership is a library of on-demand classes that we add new content to every single week for our families. And they do this stuff at home. This is not something you come to the studio for. This is for making art at home and supporting those artists on a much more regular basis than even just a weekly class. So we've got opportunities for them to join us live, and then we have an on-demand kind of library for them. So we have a whole bunch. Oh, wait, I was going to show you this. Watch this. Ready? I didn't want you to just hear me talk. I wanted to show you pictures. Check it. This is our summer camps. It's our first week of summer camps, you guys. We go 8 weeks of summer camps, 3 weeks on, 1 week off, 3 weeks on, 1 week off, 2 weeks. And that's the end of summer. And then we all take a big long nap. But so this is the virtual studio, and our members get to log in and get these classes either live or on demand. And we're also, at least through the summer period, we're also offering anybody to come and join us live if you just want to see if it's going to work for you. So I want to talk through just a couple that are happening this week. If you're like, we cannot be outside, Allison, because it is hot and my kids need to do something. So if you want us to teach them, here's a spot where you can do that. Ready? Miss Grace is teaching an acrylic painting class. Actually, that happens here in just a few hours, called Otter Nonsense. She's got all her supplies are just sitting right over here. I had to actually move them off my desk so that I could do this video for you. But she's going to be teaching Otter Nonsense, which is an acrylic paintings class. And if you don't have acrylic, you can come, just bring whatever you got. Bring tempera paint, bring paper. We're not painting on canvases. And she's gonna talk you through, you know, how to draw it out, how to paint it, how to mix colors, how to make background choices, and make some art. So if you want to join us live, that's happening later tonight. And then I teach tonight too. Let me click over on my screen and I'll show you what I'm teaching. I'm doing chalk pastels. This is a monthly class that I teach, and we do drawing. And I feel like chalk pastels are a really great beginning drawing medium because they're kind of more like paint than they are like drawing. So we're going to be doing these sea turtles. There is a template for drawing the turtle. So that way you don't actually have to pencil draw the turtle. You can use my template. And then what we really work on is a lot of blending and color choices and those kinds of things. So you just need some chalk pastels for that. Miss Sarah is teaching Giggle Goose. That is the tomorrow night class if anybody wants to join. And that is mixed media. So that's going to be more than just one type of media. You'll see she's doing some painting and she's also doing some collaging and a little bit of drawing to make her Giggle Goose art. And I'm sure we will have some very silly art come out of that one. I'm excited for that. So all the supplies are actually listed in the class listings. And like I said, I had the link ready for you, but I don't know how to put it into YouTube. So I will research that and I will find that out when I am not live on YouTube. How's that? When I finish here, and I have to finish, you guys, before 3:40. I've got an alarm on my phone because I've got a kiddo that needs to be picked up. When I finish here, though, I will put all these links in the description of the video so you know. You can also just go to the website. If you scroll in the homepage, there's a big banner that says online classes, or you can go all the way to the footer and there's like a quick link for it. So you can find them that way too, or you could just wait, I don't know, 20 minutes and I'll have it for you. Okay. So those are the online classes that are coming up this week. You can also, of course, check out the ones that are coming up past that. But if you're just like last minute looking for a way to try that, and if you're interested in the membership, so that way you not only get all the live classes, but you also get all of the on-demand classes, like the library of them. So you can just be like, I feel like doing a painting class today, and you pull up painting and scroll through and find a good one and then just, you know, hit play and it starts. So if you're interested in that, you can find it at creationnationartclub.com. Okay. And if you have questions, just holler at me. All right. I want to talk through a couple partnerships. And our first one here, I just want to give a shout out to Sabrina Mitchell. She is the owner of Authentic Connections, which is an organization here in the Liberty area that works with neurodivergent individuals, especially your middle schools and your high schoolers. That's who we partnered with, was her groups of middle schoolers and high schoolers, to offer them situations and social scenarios where they can practice these skills and make connections. So we're doing a couple art classes with Sabrina and her crew. They came for the first time last night, and I had the pleasure of teaching their class. We did some shibori, which is why my fingers are blue. You'll see when we switch to the overhead camera, they're still a little bit blue. So shibori is an indigo dyeing process, and we did shibori t-shirts. So it's a really fun program, and I totally forgot to take any pictures. So maybe Sabrina took some and she can share them with us. But if you have a need for a community organization like this, definitely check out Sabrina at Authentic Connections. Our second partnership that we have this summer, and there's more, but we're just going to talk about two this week, is the Atkins-JOHNSON Farm and Museum. And this is located in Gladstone. It's a beautiful historic farm and museum, and we've been working with Mary over there. They actually have a gallery, which is a gorgeous gallery space, and they have asked us to help them fill it. So we have our own show opening in early August. It'll run through the end of October, and all of our art will be on display. Our kids went out last week for their first visit to take pictures and sketches, and they will make an entire gallery show inspired by their visit to the farm. And they got to see the bees. I thought that was the coolest part. They got to see the heirloom gardens. They got to walk through the house and learn a little about it. They have their first open studio here in the studio tonight, where they'll go through like their notes and their sketches and begin to flesh out what is their art going to be? Is it going to be 3D? Is it going to be 2D? Do they need clay? Do they need a large canvas? Do they need a triptych? Do they need to do, drawings? We don't know. They can use any media they want. And we'll have a very varied show of different art, and they'll have to write up an artist statement. And so we're really excited for this program. This was only open to our Orange Easel students. So these kids that are in this program are our artists. They are the ones that have been taking classes with us for, at least a year, if not most of them longer than that. So when I say what media, they know all the different medias because they've taken the multimedia classes. And so I think that we will have some amazing stuff to show you as the weeks go on, and as we're able to update in this video. We'll make sure to take pictures of their progress and maybe highlight a couple of them as they work through, because the process is so fun, you guys. So these are two partnerships I want to talk about. We'll talk about more as we get kind of through the summer. We have some great other groups coming in and into the studio. Things we don't get to do during the school year because we're so packed in with classes, right? All of our regular classes are on break right now. And so we have these kinds of evenings free where we can bring in different groups and partner up with people, okay? But let's talk about camps. Want to talk about the summer camps? Let's talk about camps. All right. These are some really cute pictures. It's only been 3 days, right? Not even 3 days, because they're not even done with the third day yet. They're still here. These kids come from 9 to 4 from Monday through Thursday. So we got about an hour left here today, and then another full day tomorrow. I've got Creepy Crawlies art camp happening in Liberty, and I've got Miniature Madness camp happening at Platte Woods. We have different instructors, obviously, at both locations handling everything. They've done a great job with your kiddos. Many hands on deck, some fantastic teen staff who are helping. I know I want to flip through these pictures so you can see. I don't know if you've never been to the studio, you might wonder where these kids are. They're hanging upside down over the fort in the preschool room, right? Because there's that fort platform that they can climb on. That's what they're, in case you're wondering. This is, oops, gotta go this way. This is our Liberty group. And then I don't have a group picture of the Platte Woods group, so sorry guys, but I do have some really cute pictures of these guys at Miniature Madness hanging out. We've got these new journals. I posted this to Facebook today, and one of the things we learned last year with this format was it was really kind of a keepsake. There needed to be a place to put everything, and so they get these recognition stickers every day for being kind or helpful or creative, and we really recognize those kinds of behaviors throughout the week. We also we invested in some, it's not a camera because you just use the camera app, but it's a special printer that prints on thermo sticker paper. So it's an inkless printer, a special paper, and it runs through on stickers, and then it prints it using heat. So it's really cool. And the kids can just like print it and stick it in their journals, just kind of like a scrapbook, and they can write notes to each other. Tomorrow, they will all get a group photo. I actually run them up to our photo at Walmart and get them printed. That still exists, right? Like you can still go print photos. So I'll get everybody a printed photo, and we'll stick that in, a color photo, not one of the black and white ones, of the whole camp group, and then we sign it kind of like a yearbook. So that'll be the end of the day. The kids will go home with bunches of different supplies or different projects. We haven't really sent home projects yet because we try to keep it till the end of the week. Things can dry and finish and all sorts of things, but you can see they're having a great time. Oh, hang on, don't want to give it away yet. Don't give it away yet. But they're having a great time at summer camps. So I want to show you, because like Miniature Madness has been painting like these are my notes over here. Have been painting these mini canvases. Tomorrow they'll make mini books. They today they were building cities. I haven't seen pictures of them, but I saw some of their popsicle sticks and hot glue creations, and I think they're fully qualified to build cities. So I'm excited to see what they've made. My Creepy Crawlies camp, they've gone on like a bug hunt for plastic bugs, not real bugs, that we hid around the studio. And then they had a field journal where they were able to like keep a record of their bugs that they found. They did some tooling, which I didn't bring my example, but some metal tooling bugs. They painted a big bug today using acrylic paints, and they made specimen boxes. So this is a little buggy. I'll take him out of the specimen box. And he is made out of polymer clay. So this is an oven baked clay that's colored, and you can see he's got little like wire legs. So I thought I'd show you how to make little bug specimens. If you don't have polymer clay, how to make your own oven baked clay. And that's where the next slide comes in. So this is what I was going to show you. So I actually made some salt dough. And if you've never made salt dough, it's super easy. It has stuff that you probably already have in the kitchen. It's like a lot of times you see it around Christmas time, like salt dough ornaments, or like handprint ornament. Or we did it one Christmas with pets, where I brought my puppy in and we made like a paw print ornament, keepsake ornament. So it's a super accessible sculpture medium is salt dough. So if you don't have clay, you can make your own dough, and it's a lot like Play-Doh. You can bake it in the oven if you're in a hurry and you want it to dry out a little bit faster, or you can just let it air dry. In the studio, a lot of times we have to bake it because we have to send it home with them. But if I'm doing this at my house with my kids, we just let it dry. You want to maybe put it someplace where there's a lower humidity in your house, just so it will dry. But I like to just let it dry, because then I have more options about what I can use, right? If I'm going to put it in the oven, everything that I put on it has to also be able to go in the oven. Let's show you. I'm gonna flip my screens here. I'm gonna disappear for just a second. Don't go anywhere. And I'm going to switch to my overhead camera here. And hopefully this is the part on YouTube, one of the many parts. And I was like, I don't know if this will work, but I hope so. So hopefully you're seeing my overhead camera right here, and you can see my little buggy. Yep, there he is. There he is. I turned up my light just a little bit so he would be a little bit brighter. We can't have it up that high when it's on my face, because it kind of blows out my whole face. All right, you can see my blue fingers. So we're gonna make some bugs here today. And this is the one that we made in the studio, right, with the salt dough. And then this guy here, this is made out of, or not salt dough, polymer clay. And this guy right here, he's made out of salt dough. And I made him just before we started the video. So he's still squishy, still soft. He almost feels like he has a little bit of a crust on him because he's been sitting here a while. I'm going to set him just kind of off to the side, and we'll talk through the supplies that I have. Then I will go back to that screen share that has the recipe. So and I can also put it in the description of the video. So don't feel like you have to, you're like, oh, I missed it or anything like that. But I mixed up a couple different types of colors, and I colored my dough with paint. You could also use food coloring. You could also use like liquid watercolors, whatever you wanted. You can also just make it white, and then you can paint your bug when you're done with it, right? So this is paintable after it's dry. I went ahead and colored it because we used colored clay on this one, and I thought it was the closest thing to do. So I've got my salt dough. This is like half of a recipe because I'm making small things, so I don't need very much. Now, when we did our one in the studio, we had some different colors of wire, but you may have different wires at home. If you don't, though, you might have some paper clips, right? Or you might have some pipe cleaners. Those also are wire-based, right? If you use your paper clips and they don't have the plastic part on them, they're just metal, you can put these in the oven when you bake your salt dough, okay? If you use the pipe cleaners, don't put it in the oven. Yes? Okay, good. And you just pull them apart right? And straighten them out. And that's how you make the legs. Now, depending on how strong your fingers are and maybe how sweaty your fingers are, like it's really hot here in the office because my door's shut. I don't have a vent in here, I don't think. So my hands are a little bit slippery. It's harder to open them up. You might use a tool. We love using tools, real tools here in the studio, or, you know, maybe just a little bit of help, right? A little bit of adult help to straighten him out. I've already pre-prepped some leggies so that you guys don't have to sit here and watch me do that, right? Okay, so I'm going to set him off to the side. I also have some fun fixins. Again, if you're not going to put him in the oven, you can put like plastic googly eyes on him. Are you ready? Let's make a bug. So I've got this in plastic because it will dry out, and I don't want that. Polymer clay though, polymer clay you don't have to put in plastic. It does not dry out. I'm going to build my bug on a Post-it. You might build it on a paper plate. You might build it on a piece of cardboard. You might build it on a piece of aluminum foil, but they're kind of flimsy. So I would recommend building it on something. So that way when you have to move him, you know, you don't struggle with that. I'm going to make a smaller one this time. Grab a couple different pieces. Now we had to learn the parts of a bug. You guys know, like maybe you know this, different parts of a bug. Ready? So we've got the abdomen. That's the bottom part. Oh, you know what's fun? Let's swirl. Hang on. My abdomen is going to be swirled. That's fun. All right, so I got those of you who don't like mixing Play-Doh, this is not for you. It's, you know, it's for a purpose. Okay. Okay, I rolled a snake. I'm gonna squish my two colors together. Roll it and twist it. If you've seen our video on how to make swirled beads, this makes sense, right? Roll it together. Roll it into a snake. Twist it. Okay, there we go. That's his abdomen. That's going to be the butt. Now he needs, I hang out with kids a lot. Now he needs a thorax. He needs the middle section of him. So let's make a middle section. Some of our kids, they thought that the bugs needed a center support. So they actually used wires going down the middle of their bug. And you might decide that too. Now with our salt though, we want to make sure they stick together. So you got to kind of use a little bit of pressure. If your salt dough is really dry, it might not stick. So get it a little bit wetter, right? Put a little bit more water in your actual dough so that it sticks together. Okay, so there's my abdomen, and now we need a head. Should we zoom in a little? Might get a little closer. Okay, let's see. What do you think? Is that too big of a head? Yeah. Let's stick his head on there. Kind of push it on there. We said they looked like snowmen. All right, now I'm gonna use my fingers and kind of reshape it. Now that we have the important parts stuck together. Okay, looks like a funny snowman. All right, let's put in some legs, shall we? This one's gonna be the back leg. So I just like to shove it in there. It's pretty forgiving, right? So if it, now, unlike the polymer clay, my salt dough, like these little wires can't support the salt dough. It's too squishy, right? On the polymer clay, when I stick it in, it's firmer. It's also harder to work with, but it's a little bit firmer, and so you can actually have it stand on the wires. Not so much with the salt dough. So it needs to open up. Legs. Just kind of squish it back in there. All right, here we go. I also made some antennas out of my pipe or not my pipe cleaners, my paper clips, but maybe you could use pipe cleaners for that. That'd be really cool. If you're not baking your dough, so if you're just gonna let it air dry, you can do all sorts of things on here. You can do like wings made of paper or tissue paper, right? I'll put my antennas on there. Then I'm gonna kind of pinch it. You might want to use like a toothpick or something to help you if you're having a hard time on this scale. Right, so I've got a googly eye, a teeny little googly eye on my blue fingers. Let's see if I can get it on there. Oh, he fell off. Because I'm working. My other one, I made my eyes out of Play-Doh. Okay, he's got Play-Doh eyeballs. I don't know if I can do this, you guys. Come here, Buggy. Turn around. Oh, now I got it. Come on. Wish. One eyeball. I've also brought some sequins and gems and some buttons, none of which is oven safe. Like you would not put them in the oven, but if you're using salt dough and you're just going to sit it down and let it dry, you can just stick that on there. Or you could wait after you bake it and then like totally go nuts on the decorating. Right? So if you wanted your bug to have polka dots or stripes, you could paint it afterwards. Okay, I'm going to lift him up on the, see, having him on the Post-its like super easy to lift him up. Isn't he cute? All right, so he just needs to sit and dry, and then I can have a whole collection of bugs. It's been really funny having all the plastic bugs around the studio because they scare me when I see them. Not the colorful ones like this, but the plastic ones that look real. I mean, that's a little bit crazy. All right, let me start up my PowerPoint here. Again, we're going to scoot forward to our, where it is. There's the salt dough. And I'll get my camera back on so you guys can see this. Oh, and then we got to turn the light off because it's really bright. Let's turn it down. Works really well for my table, but it's a little much when we're done. So I hope that that's enjoyable. Here's the salt dough recipe. Everything's like, I barely measure, you guys. It's more flour than salt. I put a little bit of oil in it just because I feel like it smooths it out. I will say, I think it's helpful to have your water be warm. It helps break down the salt, right? So it's not real gritty. And then I also think that the more you knead it, the easier it is to work with. Okay, I believe, and Alton Brown will have to correct me, but I believe that the more you knead something, that's what builds up those strands of gluten and makes things stretchy so that you can be stretched a little bit rather than just crumbling and falling apart. So knead and knead and knead. Really work the dough, and it'll sculpt better for you. Okay. Like I said, if you want to color your dough, you can, or you can just let it be white and then you can paint it after it's dry. This is the baking instructions. 200, something low temp. You don't want it to brown. So low temp, low and slow. How long depends on how thick it is. You just want it to dry out from the inside out. You don't want it to be like dry on the outside and mushy and rotten on the inside. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about a little bit about what's coming up in camps, and then I will let you guys go. So we do have some camps, this Creepy Crawlies camp, the one where they're making all the buggies and doing the bug work and the bug paintings and the tooling, and that they made the light up circuit bugs. That one is happening again at Plattwoods. So Liberty will move on to something else, and Plattwoods gets to take over for Creepy Crawlies. They do have some spots there if you want to join. Plattwoods also has some spot in their Paint-A-Palooza, which is the last week of June. And then we only have like all of July because everybody does summer school in the month of June. July is always super popular. So our July fills first. We do still have one camp that has room in it, and it is Underwater Adventure Camp. It's the week right after 4th of July. We don't do anything 4th of July week, but right after 4th of July, that is Plattwoods. So if you're interested, come to Underwater Adventure. We'd love to have you. I think it's like 1 spot, maybe 2. It's not very many. And then my last thing I'll tell you, because we keep getting lots of questions, is when do the classes start back up and when are the classes going to be? And I know that everybody really wants to know because you got to plan your fall. You are my people. I'm a planner as well. So Miss Sarah and I have a draft schedule written out. I just actually heard from the Plattwoods landlord today. That was a big thing. Our lease expires at the end of August. So I needed it signed and ready to go so that we knew we were going to have space. So we have our extension. And so we'll still be open in the fall. We wanted to be open. We just had to get the paperwork. So we will be open, and we will have classes. So that was one thing I can check off my list. We'll get that schedule drafted in the next week or so. We'll also be writing our work schedule because we have to know when we're all working. And then we'll post the schedule for you guys. So, like, when is Drawing 102 comic and anime? When is K first multimedia classes, like, because there'll be more than one option, but that way you guys can plan your fall. So we usually reveal that right around the 4th of July. It will not be on the 4th of July. It's just, that's a long holiday weekend. And I usually spend that time doing computer work. So I will get it to you probably the 5th, honestly. And if you want updates on that, so you want to know like when it is actually on the website, you can, let's see, hang on. Is it the next screen? Yeah, maybe. So there's a spot on our website, which of course I had a link, but I don't know where to put it. So I'll get it in the comment section or in the description of this video where you can sign up for updates. So when that schedule is posted, you will be notified. When the registration opens, you'll be notified. Registration opens August 1st, 9 a.m. Okay. So here's how you can get news from us. You can get email updates customized just to you. That's the link that I, again, have, but can't share yet. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel content. And then you can always let me know what you'd like to see. So if you liked the bug tutorial and you want to see something else, if you saw something on Instagram or on Facebook stories that we did a project in the studio and you're like, oh my gosh, my kids would love that. How do I do that at home? And you want me to do it in one of these, I'm happy to jump on and create it for home art, so you don't have to have a massive supply list. The things that we can do in the studio, we're really, really spoiled. We have lots of resources and a big giant supply closet or two, but when we do things for home, we try to pare it down for what you have. It's still just as awesome, just more accessible. So if you have something that you want to see, let me know. Otherwise, I will, hang on, there's a slide for this way. I will see you guys next week. Bye, everybody.